Hi and welcome to Watch the Time. I just wanted to do a response to Bruce Williams' paid promotions ramble part 2 and part 1 that he's done, and just sort of add my opinion. And I want to highlight something that kind of annoys me a little bit, which doesn't seem to be being picked up by the reviewers, but I definitely see in the comments that it's being picked up by the viewers. I'm not sure where it's written down that you have to disclose paid promotions and all that, and I can hand on heart say I've never been paid any money for any kind of promotion watch video. I used to do videos on cameras and all sorts of different things, and I never got paid for anything. In fact, the only two things I've ever been given are two watches, and that's two Spinnaker watches, and that's my Bradner and my Floose. So full disclosure, those two watches were given to me, and that was it. They were given to me. I didn't have any, there was no comment about what I had to say or what I couldn't say or anything like that. I was just giving them, there you go, review them. And these were both watches that I actually approached them for because I wanted the watches. So these weren't just randomly given to me. I've approached the companies and said, I really like these watches, can I have copies of them? The Bradner was a lucky touch because they was bringing out a new version. I didn't know that. So they're the only two watches that have ever been given me. I've got about 60, I think 65, maybe pushing 70 videos on watches, and out of them I say only those two watches have ever been given to me, and I've never been paid any money. Now this can be quite an expensive hobby, and I can honestly say I've never made any money out of it. I make a very small amount of money from YouTube. I make virtually, I've not had a single penny from Amazon affiliate links. I just don't get enough. And I get on average about £50 a month revenue from the advertising, which nowhere near covers what I spend on watches and equipment and everything else, time, you know, it doesn't even come into it. It's not why I do it. And that's all fine. If you get paid for doing watch reviews, that's great. If you get given free watches, I think that's fine. It's up to the consumer to decide whether or not they trust your integrity when they're telling you, you know, I've said, you know, I love this watch, and I do love this watch. It's as simple as that. It's not an expensive watch, and I do love it. The Bradner, I really like that, and I've done comparisons with the Dan Henry, again, another watch I paid for. So, you know, I've got these watches because I like them. They're not been lent in and given out. I've not sold them straight away on eBay. They're part of my collection. Whether they'll stay part of my collection long term, I don't know, but then there's loads of watches that don't stay in my collection long term, so you know that's not an issue for me. So as far as my integrity goes, if I didn't like the watch, I'd tell you. If I do like it, I tell you, and that's how I work. It's no different, in my opinion, to when you see advertising on telly or the YouTube adverts. These people are being paid to advertise the product, so during the advertising, they're telling you it's a great product. Otherwise, why would you advertise a product that you can't turn around and say, oh, this is absolute crap, because that's not an advert, is it? So I think it's up to the consumer to decide, or the viewer to decide, whether or not they like the watch. I mean, this could be the best watch on the planet for all I know, but if you don't like the look of it, you're not going to buy it, are you? You're not going to buy it just because I say I like it. I think it's just, yeah. So anyway, the point that I think that is missed is, and tell me if you've seen this happen on a video. I've got this watch, it's been given to me by a friend. I'm going to wear fancy white gloves. I'm not going to touch it. It's not sized for my wrist because, God forbid, I'm not going to wear it, but I'm going to review it. Well, to me that just sounds like a list of specifications. And if you want to look at a video that is just showing you the watch, showcasing it, and a list of specifications, that's fine, I haven't got a problem with that. But I think the whole thing about YouTube is that you get someone's opinion and experience of using the product, wearing the product in this case, etc. And that's what I try and do. So at the moment, this isn't done for effect. I've got a Seiko 5 sports field watch that's being worn and tested. I'm currently testing the accuracy, which is absolutely spot on at the moment. And also I'm wearing it because I want to just, you know, use it on a daily basis so I can give my opinion on, is it any good? and then I'm going to do a comparison with this one which I've been wearing, and then there's another cheaper version of this watch that I've also got and I've worn. This watch is going to be part of the long-term review. This is my Land Monster that's got the different movement in it. It's got the wrong movement in it, but it actually works really well, and I've regulated it, so I'm messing about with that. That's going to form part of a long-term review. All of these other watches I bought myself, so I've recently done a review on this Casio G-Shock. That cost me £100. I've paid for that. I might keep it, I might not. I might flip it, I don't know. At the moment I'm keeping it because I'll do my reviews on it, but I wear that regularly. I've got reviews to do. This is a new watch in, and that's a little Swiss Army watch, a little Victorinox, just a little cheap quartz watch, but I thought I'd just review it. I quite like it. I love Swiss Army knives, so a Swiss Army watch I think is a great thing, so that's got to be reviewed. I'm currently testing, so I wear this sort of I wear this when I wear a green sort of shirt, because it's got the green strap on the moment, and this is the Citizen ProMaster Diver, so that one's at the moment being tested, worn, and once I've really got a handle on how much I love this watch, a bit of a clue there, then there'll be a review on that one coming. I've got other watches which I have already reviewed, but I still do long-term reviews, and after a while either fall in love or fall out of love with them. So I think people appreciate your opinion, and it's your opinion based on the product, and to me a watch needs to be worn, and it doesn't sit right with me when people say, here's a watch, it's 42mm, it's got this movement in it, it's this lug to lug, it's got this crystal, that crystal. I can read all of that on the internet. I can just look at a picture of a watch and get all the specifications. What I don't know is how does it sit on your hand, because it's is it too flat? You might have this is a really big chunky watch and a really big chunky strap, and you might look at that and go, that's too big for me. But then you see it on my just over 7-inch wrist and think, well, actually, he looks all right on his wrist, perhaps it'll look on mine. And I will tell you how I've got on with it, and that the fact that these Seiko Turtles actually wear really comfortably, and even though they're quite big cases, they don't sort of wear big on the wrist and things like that. And you can't get that just by looking at a watch. Even like these little Bradners, people say this is a chunky monkey, and it is a chunky monkey, but having worn this quite a lot, and I've worn it on holiday, I've worn it swimming, I've worn it on all sorts. I mean, a dress watch, it ain't, but the actual thickness when you've got it on, because it's kind of a compact chunky watch, is actually quite endearing. It's quite a nice feature to the watch. If you don't want a big chunky watch, then don't buy it. But my opinion is that isn't really an issue. Yes, I can see that people look at it and go, ooh, that's going to be top heavy, or it's going to be a bit too chunky, or etc. But in reality, because of the way the case back sinks into the wrist because of the shape on it, it actually loses some of that when you're wearing it, and it's actually not a problem at all. Things like the quirkiness of a Vostok. People look at these and go, oh, quirky crap, and the funny crown and the funny bezel, and it's all loose, and oh, it's plastic. But you've really got to wear this watch to appreciate it, and when you do wear it and appreciate it, and then realise how much fun it is, and what a talking point it can be, it becomes actually a great little watch. Whereas if you just look at a list of specifications on it and read some of the reviews, it's people say it's just crap, but there you go. Okay, so that's my rant over. Not really a rant. I mean, it doesn't really bother me either way, but I just wanted to give full clarity with regards to what I've been given and what I haven't been given. But as I say, all these watches I buy myself. I've got watches coming up for review. I've got, as I say, I've got the Swiss Army watch to review. I've got the Citizen ProMaster Diver to review. I've got the little Seiko 5 to review, and then its bigger brother to review. I've got a long-term review to do on this. I've got a long-term review to do on the G-Shock and a couple of others. I've got a Seiko Presage Cocktail Time coming, nice dress watch. So that's coming in soon. Again, it's a watch that I've bought, not always brand new, sometimes second-hand, sometimes new. But that's a watch I've purchased myself. That's coming in for review, but you won't see that for a while because I've got to clear out some of these, wear them, this will be sold, this will be sold, maybe a couple of others will be sold. The cocktail will come in, I'll probably have that for a couple of months and then sell it on. I don't know. Some watches I intend to sell and keep, and some watches I intend to keep and sell. But it's yeah, swings and roundabouts. So that's my thoughts on the whole paid promotions thing. I don't think it's a bad thing to get a freebie once in a while. I said on the whole, I've certainly never made a penny out of doing this, but I do enjoy doing it. I really like to see your comments on this matter, and I do like it when you give my videos a thumbs up and also subscribe to my channel, and in that way you won't miss out on any of the reviews and opinions coming up soon. So for now, this is Watch the Time. I'll see you soon. Cheers. Bye.